The reigning champion is gone. So a new name will be etched onto the PCA trophy.
I never been in the position to win a main event, and it's a goal for me to be able to win one.
That's what's great about poker tournaments, is anybody could come in and win.
You're beginning to think about that final table, to think about that huge first prize.
You have places where you just feel comfortable, where you've done well. No, this is where I won. This is my run good place.
We always want to win, and it's so hard to win tournaments when you play with the best of the best.
Now is the time for new contenders to arise.
David beat Goliath. Gale and Hall will lift the trophy.
It's a heart, and that means it's over. Watson wins the Bahamas.
Dominic Panker has done it.
Really sick start to this kid's career.
Bang, 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 bang. Maria Lampropoulou is the PCA champion. Elke wins the main event. Another year, another trophy.
Call him Mr. PCA.
DeBella calls and that's it. He will take the PCA title.
The PCA is back.
Hello once again, welcome to the Bahamas and the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2023. It's day 4 and 54 players remain. It is James Hartigan with Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies.
And Maria Ho.
Hey.
So Maria, we had you at the poker tables yesterday. We've got you at this table today. Can I just highlight that you had a deep run in the BSOP event at the start of this series with a 20th place finish and a 98th place finish in the PCA main event, making the money in that one as well.
Yeah, I do feel pretty good about the 2 out of 2 start, but yeah, I was somewhat short coming into the day. I knew that it would be pretty easy to make it into the money, but that my stack would get decimated by all the pressure that the bigger stacks were going to put on it. And, you know, shortly after we hit the money, I hit the rail.
Ah, heck.
Well, if you missed our coverage of day 3, here's what went down yesterday. Maria wasn't the only big name we saw sent to the rail. Michael Rocco was responsible for a lot of those KOs as he dominated the feature table.
I think I'm gonna win, I'm sorry.
Eliminating 6 players as he climbed to 3rd on the leaderboard.
Ooh.
And at the outer tables, Sergey Reitzak won a huge 3-way all-in to finish the day as the commanding chip leader. Okay, that brings us to the start of day 4, and these are the big stacks coming into play today. Mentioned already we've got 54 players remaining. Mentioned that Sergey Reitzak is the biggest stack overall. Americans making up the rest of the top 5. Couple of EPT champions in the top 10. Anton Wigg, Artur Martirosyan, as well as Andre Marques, who won the WCOOP main event a couple of years ago. And the key thing to highlight, Maria, is as we just saw from the chip leaders, if we look at the field overall, it's still pretty stacked. There's a lot of talent, a lot of big names, a lot of tough pros.
Yeah, which is going to make any table you put on as the feature really interesting. We know that when the structure is this good, there's going to be so many interesting hands that will develop, and the dynamic that has been created throughout these last few days amongst these players are certainly going to come into play today.
Well, let's hear from our chip leader, Sergey Reitzak. He's actually been out of poker for the last 6 months due to health issues.
Yeah, I was actually on holidays with my wife in Italy, and I got very sick from the stomach. And after 4 days, I started to feel a pain on the chest, and I went to the hospital in Italy and diagnosed me the myopericarditis. It's just like a virus that you can have like a throat infection, for example, and the same virus attacks you at the external part of the heart. The heart is inflamed and you are super tired and you just can be bed, sofa bed for quite a few time. It's going to take probably a year until I'm 100%. Right now I'm probably 70%. These last 2 days it's been amazing. I had super big fun, but physically I was quite exhausted, so it's been a little bit tough. But obviously having a deep run in this kind of tournaments is an amazing experience that I'm very grateful for.
Not only is Sergey chip leader, but the sorts of players he's been up against haven't exactly been for the faint of heart.
Good point, well made. Sergey Reitzak is going to be on our main feature table. Let's look at the full lineup we are going to have on the main stage today. In addition to right sack, we have got French pro Sylvain Loosely, American pro Taylor Poor, Steve O'Dwyer, another former EPT champion, and obviously a player who has a lot of big results, especially in big buy-in events. Seven-handed on the main stage, and of course, one of the great things we have here in the Bahamas is 2 feature tables. And at the secondary table, Artur Martirosyan. Mentioned him already. Plus, we are going to follow Ramon Colillas, playing a 43 big blind stack.
Looks like they both shop at Dan Flash's.
So Joe, Ramon repping the red spade, but he's not the only team pro still alive in the field. At the outer tables, Sam Grafton, the squid.
Yeah, obviously 2 of the big names still out there. Sam, not only an absolute killer, but super, super fun to watch. And I get to be lazy because as long as he's at the table, he's talking, I don't have to. Everybody wins.
Looks like we're about to get the action started. Day 4 of the PCA main event. Here we go. Our thanks to Maria Ho. Blinds, 5K, 10K, with a 10K big blind ante. And the action's going to start here with Sylvain Loosely, a player with nearly $8 million in live earnings. And he's got jacks.
Nice to see you, Sylvain. Better luck next year.
He raises from under the gun to 22,000. Hold it around to Jamil Wakil. He's out. Steve O'Dwyer is in the small blind, and he has 10-9 of hearts. That's a pretty hand.
Beautiful suited connectors.
That's a call. Sergi right sack in the big blind. Has ace-queen.
And absolutely put in another bet. Steve's almost never flatting in the small blind with a hand better than ace-queen.
That's a 3-bet. He has re-raised to 100,000. Action back on Loosely.
You are a little bit worried about what Loosely Muesli, the serial raiser, has.
He calls, and O'Dwyer gets out of the way. So we're heads up to the flop. And that flop is ace high. Top pair for right sack.
Our check's the best. Now, you would often c-bet small here when you miss, which means you can c-bet small when you hit.
30,000.
Okay, raise your hand if you just insta-muck jacks here. Okay, that's most of you.
Loosely is called, taking us to the turn, which is the ace of spades. Sergi improves to trips.
Come on, man, the jacks are already dead.
Another small bet, 60K into nearly 300K.
This is a nice try, but Loosely is loose-ing to just about any legit hand that would 3-bet out of the big blind.
Yeah, he folds the jacks. And right sack shows an ace.
Fun.
Ace queen, ace queen.
Makes sense.
I would play show 1. The other day we were playing show 1, but you look that you are not going to accept it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah? O'Dwyer, no, don't.
Everybody else wants to.
Oh, you got O'Dwyer.
You okay with it or no? No? Nope. He doesn't want to play, so.
You know what they say, James? You'll see it on TV.
Right sack chipping up there as we look at the payouts in this tournament. The next player out gets more than $29,000. It is the top 10 payouts that will have everyone really excited. 6-figure scores for anyone who makes it that far, with the runner-up taking home a cool $1 million, and the winner bagging $1.5 million, and of course, the coveted trophy. Heading over to the secondary feature table now, where Ramon Colillas is going to the flop against Anthony Hu. Ramon ahead with top pair.
Third base.
He has checked the action.
And my guess is this went raise, defend out of the big blind. So who is going to feel compelled to continuation bet in this spot a lot?
And he does. Makes it 11,000.
Ooh, baby.
Colillas calls. Turn card is the 7 of spades. Ramon now a 93% favorite. Checks a second time.
Is who gonna go again?
35.
He does. 35,000 into 77,000.
Okay, trying to fold out hands like 8-10, 8-9, 6s.
All in.
The check raise all in from Ramon Colillas.
Hoo boy.
And a quick fold.
At least he only made it 35,000.
Ramon chipping up to 653,000. He is now an above average stack.
He got those chips from who?
The old ones are the oldest. We're heading out into the field now where a big pot's building between Chris Chick and former EPT champion Anton Wigg. We join the action on the turn.
Looks like another raise defend out of the big blind situation.
Wigg checking here.
230.
And Chick betting big, 230,000.
Dang. Anton's going to have a fair amount of this board in the big blind. Any two connecting cards is going to have a reason to stick around.
He's called. This hand is going to the river, nearly 800K in the pot. It is the deuce of spades. Wigg checks again. And Chick bets more than half pot.
This really screams value to me.
That's a call. Chris Chick tables, king 6 of spades, he river to flush.
Bit of a loose open from the cutoff.
Anton Wigg has just lost most of his chips.
It looks like he's about to do a scat poem about it.
And Chris Chick has just taken the chip lead in the PCA main event, playing 2.3 million. Quickly heading across the room, Sam Grafton at risk of elimination. Horrible cooler against Ian Matakis. And a horrible flop for Sam.
But he's boxed himself. It's always comes running queens for you. Overconfident. GG, guys.
GG, Sam.
Good luck, all.
Still managed to get a couple of good lines in. Respect.
A 52nd place finish for Sam Grafton. The PCA main event is no longer a squid game. Welcome back to the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure, where we've just seen the elimination of Sam Grafton, who undoubtedly was hoping for a longer day.
Yeah, I woke up very optimistic. Obviously, it's a really exciting spot to be in with 54 left. In such a big tournament, it wasn't my day, but I'm very happy with how I played and just an amazing experience overall. The great thing about the PCA Festival is there's poker to be played every day. I'm going to get in the mystery batting now, and of course there's the behemoth, the big one on the horizon, PSBC. It's going to be one of the biggest tournaments, if not the biggest tournament of the year. You know, I'll lick my wounds for a couple of days and then I'll be ready to go for the PSBC.
And suffice to say, we'll be covering the Players' Championship from day one. Right now, we're going to check in on the reigning PSPC champ, Ramon Colillas. His table's broken. He's ended up on one of the outer tables and is in action right now against Giuseppe Pantaleo.
Pantaleo sounds like one of our royalty-free versions of a Gypsy King song.
Action's been checked to Ramon on the turn. He bets 100,000.
Ramon has a history of betting it whether he's got it or not, but he also has it a lot. Pantaleo has a history of folding chops. Sorry.
That's a call. This hand going to the river.
Neither player with a pot-sized bet left.
5 of diamonds, straighty board.
Amazing, some bad ace just got real lucky.
Pantaleo checks. Colillas checks. Pantaleo tables kings. And they're good.
Ooh, Ramon couldn't take the chance that he was up against the weak ace.
Pantaleo wins a decent pot, chipping up to 723K.
Well, I think it was jacks or tens, right?
Well, that's everything. Way to narrow it down. Or not a bluff, or 4s through 7s.
We're heading over to our main feature table. Blinds are still 5,000, 10,000 with a 10,000 big blind ante. And the action's going to start here with Steve O'Dwyer. Ace 10 of hearts. He's relatively short stacked.
And he's relatively long bearded.
Owen.
He shoves. Right stack folds threes. Loosely's out. Michel Detani and Taylor Poor have both folded. Jesse Lonis gets out of the way. Jamil Wakil in the big blind has queens and snap calls.
Much like a top-of-the-line pianola, this one plays itself.
Steve O'Dwyer is worse than a 2-to-1 underdog. The flop is ace high. It's looking good for Steve O'Dwyer.
The desk is favoring aces today.
Turn card is a 4. O'Dwyer now a 95% favorite to double up.
And Wakil's going to be left with dust.
Wow. Looking bad for Steve O'Dwyer, who's been KO'd. A near double up for Jamil Wakil.
Good game, SOD. Good game.
O'Dwyer cashing out in 51st place for $29,400.
TV here.
You felt that coming or no?
I felt it, yeah. I thought queen of hearts, but I'll take the queen of diamonds.
I was thinking it was queen of hearts.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to head over to our new secondary feature table, where the current chip leader, Chris Chick, has gone to the turn against Alex Kulev. Chick with just 10 high is betting 40,000.
He's saying chicks are for the bank. Is he beating king high?
Nope.
Call.
Huh.
Kulev calling with the best hand. The river is the queen of diamonds, so king high is still ahead.
And if you're Chris Chick, this is kind of like when the teacher catches you passing notes. You're not going to want to show.
Here he comes.
180.
He overbets. And Kulev.
If anyone could call this, it's Alex Kulev.
Can he find the hero call? No, he folds. The bluff gets through.
I'm not surprised it worked. You're surprised it worked.
Chris Chick increases his chip lead to almost 2.3 million.
My name's Chris Chick, spelled C-S-I-K. Nobody ever pronounces it correctly. Right now, I'm kind of bouncing around doing the vagabond thing. Prior to that, I was a little bit in real estate. Post-college, I even worked construction for a summer. I was a salesperson for windows, power, and siding. I mean, even in college, like I sold Coke cutlery, like I did all that crap, you know? Nothing I really loved, but I always had a passion for poker, but I always thought it would kind of be a side gig, not a full-fledged career. I just feel like I'm vibrating at the right frequency. I got here, I have been waking up at 7 a.m., hitting the beach, just meditating, you know, just doing everything I can to get in the proper headspace, and just the beauty of this place just makes it so easy to enjoy it. I feel like just over the last couple months, I've really hit a new peak in how I approach the game, and I've discovered new moves that I never even knew I had in my arsenal. Winning the trophy would be an amazing thing, but just having this experience is everything already.
I totally got into poker for the chicks.
So he is the biggest stack in the room right now, but we're going to check in on one of the shortest stacks in the room, Maria Konnikova. She has moved all in on the flop. Action is on Alan Mello. He's already used 3 time bank cards, and his shot clock is ticking.
They call him Mello Mello.
That's a fold.
Free money for Maria. Unless, of course, she had a set of 10s, then it's not that cool.
She's now playing 425,000. Still a below average stack. And if we look at the top 10, we can see that Chris Chick is slightly ahead of Sergei Reitzak, who headlines our main feature table. And the blinds are going up, 6K, 12K, with a 12K big blind ante. Sylvain Loosely first to act. Folds. New player at the feature table, Tine Aksoy. 10-8 of the offsuit flavor. He passes, as does Michel Datani. Jesse Lonas. Folds. Jamil Wakil gives up the button. Ian Matakis, also new to the feature table.
It's happening.
Ace-4 of hearts. Reitzak seems to think he's going to get a walk.
It's not happening.
No, you're not getting a walk from a player with ace-4.
Not in 2023, and not with this hand.
King 10 for Reitzak in the big.
48.
Raises.
Standard so far. You would get a lot of folds with this raise. You'd even be ahead of some of the hands that would call you.
Matakis calls. Blind v blind. They go to the flop.
Walk. Come on.
Jack 9-4, so a pair of 4s from Matakis. He's still ahead. Checks. Reitzak has flopped a gut shot straight draw. He continues for 26,000.
Bit of a size down from the pre-flop raise. Probably not going to fold out too many better hands.
Matakis calls. We go to the turn. 6 of diamonds. Matakis now a 77% favorite. Checks a second time.
Gonna have to size up if he wants this 4 to fold.
Not big enough for you? 105,000.
It is. Thank you for asking. Is it big enough for Matakis, though?
Yeah, he folds the best hand. Reitzak adds 74K to his stack, now playing 2.4 million, second in chips in the tournament. And with the elimination of Justin Bonomo, we are down to 43 players.
I think he's growing his hair out for a roll in Trolls 3.
Bonomo was eliminated by Jonathan Little. He made the final table of the PCA back in 2007.
That's pretty incredible.
There's Andre Marques, who burst the bubble in this tournament. He's currently commanding a top 10 stack.
Love me a Marques.
Also in the top 10 right now is Michael Rocco, who dominated the feature table yesterday.
How many more souls has he taken today? How many?
He's sharing a table with the 2005 EPT Copenhagen champion, Noah Buchan.
Book the win.
Well, we're staying out in the field, where Spanish streamer Elias Gutierrez has bet enough to put Justin Zaki all in. Justin only has 3K behind, and I think he's waiting to see if he can make the pay jump.
This is why I prefer to be paid by the hour.
Tine Aksoy out in 40th. He's made the pay jump. And he makes the call. Let's see him. Ace-Jack for Zaki, Ace-9 for Gutierrez. He's ahead right now with top pair, top kicker.
Domination rotation.
3 outs for Zaki.
That's not what I was expecting. Huh? That's not what I was expecting. No. It's a little bit more for like a, like king queen or something.
Ace-10.
Bad beat tweet incoming.
Zaki needs a jack on the river. Doesn't hit.
Good game, guys. Good luck.
send.
Yeah, he cashed for an extra 4.5K.
Gotta do his live pro moves, yeah?
I've heard aggression is the way to win a poker tournament, but I think Justin heard passive aggression.
He's out in 39th as Gutierrez chips up to over 400K. Would you like the opportunity to play alongside your poker heroes? Head over to PokerStars to find out how you can join us at our next live event. Here at the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure, it isn't just the main event that has players excited. The Mystery Bounty Tournament offers the chance to pull a huge prize every time you eliminate a player.
It's a celebration of our celebrations. To all whom concerned, we celebrate and we made it. Came this far, we ain't about to go back. Came this far, we ain't about to go back. It's a celebration.
All those people really want all that money.
Yes, Joe, that's how a Mystery Bounty works.
I gotta play one of those.
Heading back to the feature table in the main event, blinds remain 6K, 12K with a 12K big blind ante. New player on the main stage, Mitchell Halverson.
You give it to someone you want it. Yeah.
He folds. Jesse Lonas. Passes. Jamil Wakil has 9-7 of hearts.
Recently came in 21st at EPT London. 22,500 pounds. Going to be a lot more than that if he makes 21st here.
With 9-7 suited, he raises to 26,000. Sylvain Loosely in the big blind has King Deuce.
A lot of people are going to defend King Deuce here. The bad news is none of them are me, and the good news is they're all good.
Loosely calls, heads up to the flop. It's 9-9 deuce. Wakil flops trips.
And Loosely also smashed the flop here. How's he not going to go broke?
Checks the action to Wakil, who bets 15,000.
I was just joking. Please don't go broke.
He calls, having paired his deuce, taking us to the turn, which is the case 9. It's now a full house for Loosely, but it's quads for Wakil.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Loosely checks a second time. Wakil likely to bet bigger now. Half pot, 50,000.
I mean, how do you fold a full house?
Loosely calls. But going to the river, which is the Jack of Diamonds. Loosely checks. Wakil
160.
bets 160,000. Loosely knows he's losing to any other pair, right?
Oh, I forgot about that. Right. Sure. Yeah, of course he does. I knew too.
That said, not always easy to fold a full house.
I mean, he's beating ace high.
Looks back at his cards and makes a good laydown.
People folding full houses up in here.
Nice pickup for Jamil Wakil, who's now playing more than $500,000.
My name's Jamil Wakil. I'm 32 years old, and I'm a professional poker player. Actually, sorry, we should restart.
Okay, yeah.
I'm 33 now, so I forgot. I worked in finance in Toronto for about 7 years. It was a high-paced job. Obviously, I was always challenged because it was in sales. I embraced the challenge, and that's kind of similar with poker. You're always building relationships and making different kinds of connections, and then also during the sales process, you know, part of it is reading your client, learning what they like, what they don't like, their behaviors, and so I can see those patterns in poker as well. I've been traveling the EPT this year, and I've had quite a few deep runs. I made a deep run in the London main event.
Jamil Wakil will be eliminated on the last hand of the level.
So making the final table is definitely on my list to accomplish. And then after that, taking home the trophy, it would be a dream come true, and I do all I can to make that happen.
The PCA has a long line of Canadian headliners. Mike McDonald, Mike Watson, Jamil Wakil.
While we need to head out into the field where there is a big pot between Michael Rocco and Elias Gutierrez. Rocco has shoved the river. Gutierrez has used 3 time bank cards as he considers whether to call all in.
It's a lot of time to try to figure out, does he have it? Okay, there might be more to it than that.
He is quite literally running out of time.
I will call.
He makes the call.
Congratulations.
Bluff caught.
Top pair for Gutierrez.
Oh, it's got a queen. Cool. That's a good hand.
Missed flush draw for Rocco.
I don't know the action, but a pair of queens was far from the nuts.
I'll take that. I'm happy with the result.
Well, Rocco's now a short stack.
You got all this time, man.
That's not how that works.
I have one left, right? Maybe? No. Do I have one time?
1 second. 360,000. Just bet the flop, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
How much is it? 360.
I wanted to control pot. But you didn't let me do it.
Sometimes you control the pot, and sometimes the pot controls you.
So Gutierrez is now a big stack. While Michael Rocco is approaching the danger zone.
Danger zone!
In fact, Elias Gutierrez has just broken into the top 10. Chris Chick has dropped into second place. He now sits behind Sergei Reitzak, who still headlines our main feature table. And action has folded to Reitzak, so guess what, Joe? We're going to sweat with Sergei.
Sergei's recovering from some heart issues, so maybe not sweat with him. How about gently play along?
So his hand is ace deuce of clubs. He's raised to 30,000.
Raising a suited ace pretty much can never be wrong.
Mitchell Halverson in the big blind. He made the last 2 tables of the World Series of Poker main event in 2021.
That is impressive.
And he has defended.
We've got him way out chipped. That's a good thing.
The flop is Queen Jack 3 all strawberries.
That is a pretty bad flop for us. I am cool to try to check it all the way down even now.
So Halverson has checked.
Looks like Sergei is not cool with checking to the river.
No, he continues for 15,000. Halverson calls. Turn card is the 10 of spades, so the board gets straightier.
I'll say it again. I am totally fine to check it to showdown. Totally fine.
Second barrel. 40,000.
So many hands just improved. Unless we get a miracle fold here, our only options are to spike a gut shot or make a massive river bluff.
Halverson calls again. Let's see what the river brings.
Halverson definitely has something.
It's the 5 of clubs. Halverson checks a 3rd time.
Not knowing how big that something that Halverson has is means we have to bet big here on the river, or all those other bets are just a waste.
The pot is 195,000. Reitzak is going to bluff here for 120.
Not big enough.
Cool. Nothing.
Halverson snap calls. 2 pair.
I'm not sure how long we have to talk about this hand, but I have notes.
Save them for another day. Halverson up to 690K. As we head over to the secondary feature table for the sickest and classicest of all races. The ace-king of Chris Chick against the queens of Anton Wigg.
Classic in the way that Jaws is a classic because this is pure horror.
Wigg is the at-risk player. And it's an ace-high flop.
Really a lot of aces on the desk today.
Anton Wigg is going to need a queen on the river or he is eliminated.
Hey, it happened earlier.
Not this time. Anton Wigg.
Good game, man.
Good game, guys.
KO'd in 34th place.
No longer getting wiggy with it. He is wigging out. Live poker is wigged. Should I keep going?
If I'm going to be honest with you, and I feel I can be honest with you, I'd rather you didn't.
Okay.
Anton Wigg cashes for $33,800. And Chris Chick has just reclaimed the chip lead with 33 players remaining in the PCA main event. Welcome back to the Bahamas, where it is day 4 of the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure main event. Straight back to the action, where Michael Rocco is all in and set for a much-needed double-up.
Dude was knocking people out left and right yesterday. How did we get here? Oh, wait, I remember.
He is a 4-1 favorite to survive. The flop. Has a jack on it.
Ooh.
Pedro Neves takes the lead. Rocco now a 9-1 dog. Needs an ace on the river. Doesn't hit. Considering how dominant this guy was during the second half of day 3, this is very surprising.
Really bit of a shame. He had an old school PCA vibe about him.
32nd place finisher, cashing for just shy of 34K. And Pedro Neves now a big stack, 1.32 million.
It's always coming, Neves.
Staying out in the field, Ramon Colillas has moved tables again. He's in a hand here against American pro Chris Brewer. Ramon facing a bet of 50K on the turn. He makes the call. River card is a king. Ramon checks.
Chris Brewer is actually a pretty well-known up-and-comer on the American high-stakes tournament scene.
He shoves on Ramon, who calls all in. Oh, that is sick. Brewer had trip 4s. Ramon rivered a full house.
I mean, I have a really weird feeling you get the kings.
That is brutal for Brewer.
I just knew it.
That was pretty unlucky.
A double up for Ramon Colillas, taking him up over 700K.
You know, I don't know if we've mentioned it or not, but Ramon's won a few bucks before here in the Bahamas.
We're heading back to the main stage. Blinds currently 10,000, 15,000 with a 15,000 big blind ante. Actions on Jamil Wakil, who has Jack 9 of spades. And he raises to 35,000. Round to Sylvain loosely on the button. Pocket tens.
Wakil's got under 30 bigs. Loosely could try to play for all of it.
Loosely just calls. Alan Mello has joined the feature table. He has ace deuce of hearts in the small blind.
Mello's getting the right action to try to see a flop with ace deuce suited. Could also just raise with it.
He calls as well. 7-6 off for Michel Datani in the big blind. He calls, so we're going 4-way to the flop.
Multipass.
Oh, wow. Wakil flops trip 9s again.
Razor's delight.
Action has been checked to him.
Why not bet it?
40.
40,000.
I mean, this is just such a fortunate flop. Look at all the action you can get. but can you fade it all?
Loosely with tens.
Tens almost certainly has to see one more.
Yeah, he calls. Alan Mello with the nut flush draw.
Mello for sure.
Those aren't calling chips. That's a raise to 150,000, which gets rid of Datani.
Makes sense.
Wakil shoves. Loosely. Folds.
And with these stack sizes, yep.
Mello calls. And Wakil, a big favorite to double up. Has to fade a heart. 6 outs for Alan Mello. The turn card is the 4 of clubs. That gives Mello additional outs.
Ooh.
But Wakil is still a 4-1 favorite to get the double up. River card is the king of spades. Wakil doesn't just survive, he is now a big stack.
Nice hand.
Mello looking pretty somber.
Did I sweat?
A little bit, yeah. I knew it was another 9 or a flush draw, so I thought flush draw. Not the size one, so.
Jamil Wakil having quite the day 4, up almost 800K from the start of the day. And we're heading out into the field now, where Maria Konnikova is all in and behind.
It is a domination situation. Sorry, Maria.
Her ace-10 trailing Giuseppe Iadacernia's ace-queen. The flop is all clubs.
Club split on the turn?
Yes, opportunities emerge. It'll be a split pot if there's a club on the river.
Ooh.
But it's not a club, not a 10. Maria's out in 30th.
Good game.
She's still a New York Times bestseller, though.
Thank you.
Iadacernia is now among the chip leaders.
I'd help stack his chips, but I had dysernia.
Maria cashing out for $33,800.
I should probably leave, too.
Over to the secondary feature table now, where it's Lucas Lander with top pair against Chris Chick with an overpair and a flush draw. Action on Lander.
The Eagle has Landa.
He checks the turn.
You have a full stack of blues back there? All in.
Chick shoves on him.
Seems reasonable.
It is all in to call.
He may feel pot committed.
He does call. And he's going to need some help on the river.
Not just any help. Non-spade help.
Only 3 outs. Chris Chick, a huge favorite here. The river is the 8 of spades.
GG.
Chris Chick improves to a flush, and Lucas Lander is KO'd in 29th.
All right, give him some space. He doesn't have much room. I really gotta go.
$33,800 for Lander. Meanwhile, Chris Chick finds himself back in the catbird seat. As this level draws to a close, we're down to 27 players. Chris Brewer also eliminated.
Brew. I was saying Brewer earns.
We're midway through day 4, and yes, Chris Chick is at the top of the table. Dominant chip leader, Sergei Reitzak dropping down to 3rd behind Artem Martirosyan. While Jamil Wakil and Elias Gutierrez both started the day as short stacks, they now find themselves rounding out the top 10. Next time, we play down to the final 16. And the drama builds when Colillas, Datani, and Gutierrez meet at the feature table.
All in. Call. Oh, I'm ahead.